Hello, fellow classmates. This week we're going to be talking about SIA in developing countries. A few of the key items that our reading looks at is who benefits, talks about the project promoter, and the project promoter benefits by having more project success via having done an SIA in many cases. Also, the community can benefit from having done an SIA in having less negative impacts and also maximizing the positive impacts of whatever project is being done. So, filling out the question a little bit more, why do an SIA? As we mentioned, effectiveness. We want to maximize the effectiveness of whatever project it is, but we also want to improve the rates of return, which can be done with an SIA, not missing problems or issues that might otherwise be, and also avoiding negative consequences, as we've mentioned. So, how should we apply an SIA in developing countries? I think this was particularly interesting to me on pages 51 and 52, where they talk about adapting to the local setting. And I think it'd be great if you guys could talk about this in some of your posts or questions, because this adaptation to local settings is really important. If we would go in with with an imperialist or American mindset and assume that locals will think and go about addressing problems and issues the same way that we would, we'll probably miss most of what's important. So love to hear you guys' discussion on this. All right, the next chapter, chapter 23, talks about International Association for Impact Assessment. And here are a few questions that I have about it that I'd love for you guys to address in your comments for this week. With the differences between countries, can IAIA be specific enough to be actionable? Another question, since the development of IAIA, since it did not include practitioners, can it be well applied? And we'll talk about this a little bit when in the Van Clay article. I think he brings up some good questions, and this can be good fodder for discussion for us. Also, the core values, principles, and guidelines that are listed in Chapter 23. There's several lists there that are fairly thorough. What do you think of them? Are there things that they should have included and didn't, or things that they did include and shouldn't have? Are they actionable? All right, now switching to the Van Clay article in our readings for this week. So he talks about principles for SIA. He says that the U.S. methods of SIA are very positivistic and technocratic, which seems to be true from the readings that we've done. But he said that international SIA tends to be more democratic, participatory, and constructionist. You guys agree with Van Clay, or do you disagree? And in what way, what things that he says do you agree or disagree? Is he being too picky, or is he bringing up some important points that we need to pay attention to? What do you think? And in conclusion, International SIA talks about the development that benefits everyone in the community. And I think that that's the most important aspect of an SIA. Do you agree, disagree? How does this pan out in real life? Also, another important point is listening to the voices of underrepresented people is a benefit that SIA can bring if done well. How well does SIA do this? What do you think? Um, and another thing that fits in kind of with these other two is avoiding neocolonialism. It's easy for outside development agencies or governments or the World Bank or anything like that to come in with a fairly top-down approach to development. And I think an SIA can avoid some of that neo-colonial attitude and spend more time listening to locals and applying what actually works for them. So enjoy discussing. I look forward to hearing what everyone has to say on this really important topic.